Hello guys and welcome back to the video by me, PajaZ, and today I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of a different video because today we're going to talk about Scuf, or especially Scuf controllers. If you never heard about the company Scuf Gaming, I think you have if you're into YouTube and Call of Duty and stuff like that. They are basically controllers that gives you a slight advantage over normal controllers. And they basically look like this. Maybe look like a normal PS4 controller right now, but you can see that it has a different color, and there's a lot of other different things with this as well. This is one of the newest ones, the Scuf Infinity, where you can actually switch out the thumbsticks for domed or concave. You can choose how long they're going to be for your aim to be better or more precise. You can also have grip on these controllers. Like this one is called military grip, which allows you to hold the controller a lot easier. So if you have sweaty hands, you will not slip with this controller. The controller will not be slippy in your hands anymore because of this grip. This texture will allow you to keep your hands on the controller at all times. There are trigger stops, which allows you to not push the buttons too far down before they register. All of that is good and handy. And you also have the paddles on the back, which is probably the biggest improvement from any other controller out there, which allows you to jump and melee without hitting the buttons in the front. So you're actually able to aim, shoot, and jump, and even melee at the same time without ever sacrificing your momentum, which is great. I'm not gonna lie, when a Scuf controller does what they're supposed to do, they are freaking amazing. And a little bit over a year ago, I started off this channel on Black Ops 3, and I decided that I've seen so many pro players using these controllers, and it seemed like they were a huge advantage. So I decided, hey, I'm going to pick one up. And at the time, I was playing on Xbox One. So I picked up this normal Scuf One. As they were called, this is not the Scuf Pro, Infinity, or Impact. This is the oldest version of the Scufs you could possibly get for the Xbox One. I picked this up, and I hated it so much. It was so hard for me to remap my brain around to use these paddles on the back. And it really is. If you never tried a Scuf before, you will not like the controller right away. Otherwise, you are insane. Because remapping your brain quickly is not that easy. It takes time, but after 5 days, I felt in love with it. The ability to play especially games like Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3, where you can jump and aim at the same time without sacrificing anything, was incredible. And I just want to say right away, a Scuf controller does not make you a more skilled player. A lot of people has this misunderstanding that they think that, oh, he's playing with a Scuf. He already has a huge advantage. That's why he's so good, or that's why he's getting nukes or stuff like that. That is not true. You can give a Scuf control to an unexperienced player, and especially like Call of Duty, Battlefield, wherever you want to do, and they will not play better because of this controller. But if you are a decent player at the game, you know how to play the game well, and you have different strategies to use, if you then pick up one of these controllers and get used to them, they will give you an advantage when it comes to the momentum, because you're able to jump and aim at the same time. Other people will have to jump and then switch over to the aim again because they don't have paddles on the back. So this is a small advantage, but I just want to get out there that this controller is not going to make you more skilled. It will give you a small improvement to your game, but nothing major. And I don't know if you understand where I'm going with this video right now. Am I going to bash on them? Am I going to say that I love them? And I'm going to say the both sides, the really good things and the horrible things about these controllers. But this controller still works to this day. The paddles, everything is perfect. I love it. No issues with this controller whatsoever. And I thought Scuf was amazing when I tried this out. But I switched over to Black Ops 3, as I said, when I started using this, and a lot of my friends were playing on PS4 instead, and the game ran a lot smoother on PS4, in my opinion, at least after what I experienced. And at the same time, the DLC came first on the PS4. And since I was doing YouTube, I wanted to be ahead of the game. So I decided to save up some money and get myself a PS4, and then also buy my very first Scuf for PS. This is the old one, just as the Xbox. It's not the Scuf Pro, not the Impact, and not even the, what's the other one called? Scuf Infinity, where you can switch out the thumbsticks. This is just a normal one. You can also see the old paddles back here. These are not the Pro paddles that a lot of the controllers have now. This is the oldest version you could get of the PS4. This was amazing. I loved it, used it for a long time, but eventually the thumbsticks actually broke. They didn't work anymore. They got stuck, and as you can see with this controller right here, I can take it up and it stays there. So I have to, with force, put it back down. And I can't crouch or slide with this controller depending on what kind of button layout you use. anymore whatsoever. But the paddle still works perfectly, nothing wrong there, but the thumbsticks actually stopped working. Then I heard about the Scuf Pro, a new improved controller, and the only difference with the Pro and the normal Scuf for PS was new paddles back here. I don't actually have a Pro controller right here now. This is the Scuf Infinity, but they have the same paddles. These were the new paddles that they introduced. I decided to pick that up because I was a little bit unlucky with this one since the thumbsticks didn't work anymore. Picked up a new one, and I was very happy with the product. Played for that throughout Black Ops 3. And within 3 months, the jump paddle right here, or the left paddle if you look this way when you're holding the controller, which you use a lot of the times, which is the jumping paddle, or basically the X button, stopped working. It stopped registering, and I had to hit it really hard to get it to work, and eventually it didn't work whatsoever. I didn't know what was going down. I've never experienced this before, and I was super confused, and I decided to send it back in. I did, got it back, played with it. Same thing happened about a month later. So I decided to pick up the brand new Scuf Infinity, which is this controller right here, which is the first one I picked up, which you actually are able to switch up the thumbsticks with. So I thought, okay, I can switch up the thumbsticks here, so if they break, I can't have the same problem as I had with this one, because this, as I said, the joysticks broke. So that was fixed, but I was still very concerned about the paddles. I really hope that I was really unlucky with the Scuf Pro controller that I had, but I played with the Infinity. I love that I could switch out the thumbsticks because the thumbsticks are actually really bad quality. They wear off very easily, and you can see that on this one as well, that it's a little bit weared off. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit weird off. So I started to use this thing, I loved it, and eventually the same thing happened again. About 4 months in, the paddle stopped working. I couldn't jump, nothing worked, and I was super frustrated. So I again decided, you know what? I don't want to send it back in and they not even being able to maybe fix it, or the same thing happens again. I thought maybe I've been unlucky once again. So I decided to pick up my newest controller that I bought about 3 months ago. And this is right here. I decided to pick up this. This is another Scuf Infinity. And already I could see what Scuf has done with me. These controllers break so easily, but I am so in love with playing with them the way I do. Like holding them right here, using the paddles. I know a lot of people say, why don't you just switch to another way of playing? Like, why don't you play claw, which you basically play differently. You have your hand up here at X all the time, but my hands really hurt like that, and the reason it's called claw is because you basically have to hold it like in Dinosaur right here. But my hands really hurt when I played that way, so I couldn't do that. And when it comes to stick and move, I could try to get used to that, but I was so in love with the Scuf and how they worked. So I wanted to give them another chance, and after 2-3 months, the fire, or the triggers, the trigger right here, the one I shoot with, stopped working. And I thought, okay, this is super weird. I've never experienced this, but since the paddles are working perfectly still, I decided to switch or swap the triggers, because usually you aim with L2 and R2, but you can switch, so you do that with L1 and R1 instead. But then the problem occurred, because in games like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, you have to be able to call in your specialist or combat rig, which is essential with this game, and I'm not able to do that, because I have to press the 2 buttons at the same time. So I have to choose, do I want to use my combat rig or specialist in the game, or do I want to aim and shoot? Because I can't do both anymore. So that was really frustrating. I decided to go back to my old one where the one paddle didn't work and just try that, because I need to shoot and call in my specialist. That is more important. I went back and the paddle actually worked again. I have no idea why. I thought maybe it was something wrong with it earlier. I connected it with the USB. Maybe that was it. Maybe it just needed a better way to connect. I had no idea. It started working for a couple of months. Same issue came back. The one paddle started getting sloppy. I needed to hit it really hard for working. Same thing with other buttons as well. I really had to press them really hard for them to register. And eventually, when I came back today, I was planning to live stream. I actually been away for this week, and I decided to live stream again for you today. It's Friday, May 19th today, and I was going to live stream. I turned on my live stream, started playing, and the jump button didn't work whatsoever. I played for 45 minutes, warming up in different games, trying to go around it. I used stick and move and other button layouts. I tried to play with it, but the buttons and the way this controller was right now didn't work for me whatsoever. Either the buttons didn't work or I had to hit them really, really hard. So it felt like I was playing handicapped the entire time. So I decided to turn off my stream today early and don't stream anymore. And I'm super sorry for that, but I think you can get the feeling about playing with a controller that doesn't work properly. You're basically playing handicapped, which is something I didn't want to do when I'm used to these working. And I know what you say, why don't you just buy a normal PS4 controller and get used to stick and move? And I thought about this for a long time, and I think that that will be the next step. If not, the Scuf Impact will have a difference, because Scuf Gaming announced their newest controller right now, which is the Scuf Impact. And I've decided that I wanted to give that a try. And I actually bought that for almost 3 weeks ago and it still hasn't come. But it's supposed to come into my mail next week. So I'm going to review that, open it, try it, say what I think about it. And then I'm going to keep you updated if it works or not, if it starts breaking after a while. But I will say, don't do the same mistake as me. Because when you get used to Scuf, you don't want to play with anything else. And when they break, you want to get new ones or send them back in. It takes forever. And then you have to use other controllers in the meanwhile, which is super frustrating. It's just a mess, the entire thing. But I've decided to give Scuf one final try. I'm going to pick up this Scuf Impact. I love that it's bigger and I'm actually able to have 4 paddles for once in a PS4 controller. I can't wait. I'm super excited to try it. But I will keep you guys updated and I will let you know how it works. I will basically try it out for you guys and then see if I will recommend it or not. So this is my final attempt at a Scuf. If this doesn't work, I will go back to a normal controller and learn how to play stick and move, or basically just don't put a single dollar into a Scuf controller again. And here comes the review or the summary of these controllers. The oldest versions that I picked up, like the Xbox One right here, still works to this day. There's no problems with it. And after this one, I have only bought Scuf controllers for PS4, and all of them has had some kind of issue, as I've told you about. But the only one I ever bought for the Xbox One has never broken on me. I haven't used this for so long as the other controllers, but I've definitely had it for ages. I always used to use this when I played on PC as well, because a lot of my friends played Black Ops 3 on PC. Then I used this controller, and it still works to this day. There's no issues with this whatsoever. Unfortunately, I really prefer PlayStation, so this is not gonna work for me. So I had one very positive experience with Scuf, and all the other experiences has been horrible. And I have more controllers than what I have right here. I've either had them in the closet right here or laying around somewhere. But regardless of what happens, if the trigger doesn't work, if the thumbsticks doesn't work, or the paddles, which is the most annoying thing, there's always been an issue with these controllers. And I wonder, is this something Scuf Gaming does intentionally because they want you to keep buying the newest editions? Or is the quality just shit and they're not able to figure that out? Well, Scuf Gaming, I've decided to give you one final try with the Scuf Impact that I will review and do an unboxing on next week, hopefully, if it comes in. And I will play with that. If that stops working, I will send it back and I will probably play with one of the other controllers or play stick and move or anything like that. But I've decided, and I give you a promise, that I'm not going to put another penny into any Scuf products again. This is your final chance, Scuf, and if you want me to keep recommending you, you have to pull it off this time around, because you should have learned. And I've seen so many videos, so many articles, so many things on Reddit and stuff like that where people have gotten into issues with their controllers. The Scuf controllers are horrible. Big YouTubers that use them, they just throw them away when they break and get a new one because they're sponsored, and they never tell the people about that. Some YouTubers actually has come out and told people the real truth because they're not associated anymore with Scuf. But of course, if you don't treat your controller right, if you smash them to the table or throw them to the wall, I would expect them to break. But all of my controllers, I have only used them where they're supposed to. Of course, I press the paddle a lot because I jump a lot in the game, but I need to be allowed to do this. Other than that, I treat them perfectly. When I'm done playing, I put them carefully away on my table, and they sit there until the next time I pick them up. I never throw them, I never hit them to my wall or my table. I treat them as well as I possibly can. But still, they keep on breaking in some kind of way. And when you have to buy a new one or send them in or whatever you do, the price on these controllers is almost tripled from a normal PS4 controller. So to sum up this video, I want to say that I love Scuf controllers. I really like them, but as I always said, when they do what they're supposed to do. Scuf is a great product. You can customize it the way you want, and there's no other controllers out there who is the same as Scuf Gaming. The way you can customize them to your personalization, like there's no limits. You can do whatever you want, but the quality is not good enough. And they have to do something about this, because they can't expect people to send them back in and get them back, use them for a little bit, and then break again. That is not how you do it. And I know recently they've added so you have a 1-year guarantee for your controller. So if it breaks or anything happens between that year and you have not thrown it in the wall or something like that, they will fix it for free. But it takes ages. And then you have to play with a normal PS4 controller or something like that in the meanwhile, which is very frustrating. That's why I picked up new ones instead, which is even more stupid. I know, you can judge me as much as you want, but at least I am here with the experience, because I can't be that unlucky that all these controllers I picked up doesn't work eventually. So there is a problem, and I hope you guys will follow me through this channel when I pick up the Scuf Impact and see what we can think. I'm going to be super honest. I will not recommend the product if I don't like it. If I do like it, I will use it for a while, and I will give it my final review after 6 months to a year and see if it still works as it's supposed to. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Leave a like rating if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you are new and if you want to follow my journey with Call of Duty and also Scuf Gaming. And hit that notification button if you always want to know what goes down on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I know a lot of you are probably saying just switch to a normal controller, just use a stick and move, just do that, and that's very easy to say, but hands down, I love Scuf and I want to use the Scuf. I know you can be just as effective with stick and move or play claw. Claw is not for me, and stick and move is not for me. I want a Scuf controller. I love how they work, and I'm so used to it right now that I want to keep using them. But if this is how Scuf is going to treat me, I have to make an end to it all. So this is my final try with the Scuf Impact. I'm very excited to see how it is. I hope I can recommend it to you guys. If I can't, I'm done with Scuf. I'm just sorry. But I just wanted to get across the message that I love this product. I really do. I don't want to hate on these controllers, but the quality needs to be improved. And maybe I'm so lucky that Scuf even sees this video and starts thinking about this, because you can't expect people to buy new versions of them all the time. And you need to have controllers that at least works for a year. And I must be honest, not a single one of the controllers I've used has lasted longer than 6 months. 6 months is the absolute maximum, except for this Xbox One controller, which for some reason still works. I don't know why. Maybe I should go back to Xbox. I have no idea what to do right now, but I'm gonna try the Impact and see what I can do. I know this video is super long, but I just wanted to get the message across. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There was some gameplay in the background as well, but still, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Have a great weekend, guys. Sorry for not being able to stream, but right now I don't have a controller that works, so I'm comfortable playing, and I don't want to play feeling like I'm handicapped. I will let you guys know what the Scuf Impact is all about when that comes to my mail. Have a great weekend. I'm gonna end this video right now. Thank you for watching. My name is PajaZ. I love you all. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you very soon. I'm out.